hunt after in their lives they've registered upon our brazen tombs, and then grace us in the disgrace of death, when spite of, cormorant, devouring time, the endeavor of this present breath may buy, that war against your own, that honor which will bait your sky's keen edge, and make us heirs of all eternity. Therefore, brave conquerors, for so you are, that war against your own affections, and the huge army of the world's desires, our late edict shall strongly stand in force. Navarre shall be the wonder of the world. Our court shall be a little academe, still and contemplative in living art. You three, Rome, Dumaine, and Longueville, have sworn for 3 years' term to live with me, my fellow scholars, and to keep those statutes that are recorded in this schedule here. Your oaths are passed, and now subscribe your names, that his own hand may strike his honor down, that violates the smallest branch herein. If you are armed to do as sworn to do, subscribe to deep oaths and keep them too.
I'm resolved. 'Tis but 3 years past. Mine shall banquet though the body pine. Fat paunches have lean pates, and dainty bits make rich the ribs, but quite bankrupt the wits.
My loving lord, Dumaine is mortified. The grosser manner of these rose delights, he throws upon the gross road's baser slaves. To love, to wealth, to pomp, I pine and die, with all these living in philosophy.
I can but say their protestation over. So much, dear liege, I have already sworn. That is, to study here 3 years. But there are other strict observances, as not to see a woman in that term, which I hope well is not enrolled there. And 1 day in a week to touch no food, and but 1 meal on every day besides, the which I hope is not enrolled there. And then to sleep but 3 hours in the night, and not be seen to wink of all the day, when I was wont to think no harm all night, and make a dark night too of half the day, which I hope well is not enrolled there. Oh, these are barren tasks, too hard to keep. Not to see ladies, study, fast, not sleep.
Your oaths are passed to pass away from these.
Let me say no, my liege, and if you please, I only swore to study with your grace, stay here in your court for 3 years' space.
You swore to that, Brome, and to the rest.
By yea and nay, sir. Then I swore in jest. What is the end of study? Let me know.
Why, that to know which else we should not know.
Things hidden barred, you mean, from common sense?
Aye, that is study is godlike recompense.
Come on, then. I will swear to study so, to know the thing I am forbid to know, to study when I well may dine, when I to feast expressly am forbid. If study's gain be thus, and this be so, then study knows that which yet it doth not know. Swear me to this, and I will ne'er say no.
These be the stops that hinder study quite, and train our intellects to vain delight.
Why? All delights are vain, but that most vain is with pain purchased doth inherit pain, as painfully to pore upon a book, to seek the light of truth, while truth the while doth falsely blind the eyesight of thy look. Light seeking light, doth light of light beguile. So ere you find where light in darkness lies, your light grows dark by losing of your eyes.
How well is read to reason against reading.
Proceeding well, to stop a good proceeding.
He weeds the corn, and still lets go the weeding.
The spring is near when green geese are a-breeding.
How follows that?
Fit in his place and time.
In reason nothing.
Something then in rhyme.
Brown is like an envious sneaping frost that bites the firstborn infants of the spring.
Say I am, why should proud summer boast, before the birds have any cause to sing? So it is with you. To study now, it is too late. Climb o'er the house to unlock the little gate.
Well, sit you out. Go home, Baron. Adieu.
No, my good lord, I have sworn to stay with you. And though I have for barbarism spoke more, than for that angel knowledge you can say, yet confident I'll keep what I have swore, and bide the penance of each 3 years' day. Give me the paper. Let me read the same. And to the strictest decrees I'll write my name.
How well this youthing rescues thee from shame.
Item, that no woman shall come within a mile of my court. Hath this been declared?
4 days ago.
Let's see the penalty. On pain of losing her tongue? Who devised this penalty.
Mary, that did I.
Sweet Lord, and why?
To scare them hence with this dread penalty.
A dangerous law against gentility. Item, if any man be seen to talk with a woman within the term of 3 years, he shall endure such public shame as the rest of the court can possibly devise. This article, my liege, yourself must break. For well know you, here comes an embassy, the French king's daughter with yourself to speak, a maid of grace and complete majesty, about surrender up of Aquitaine, to her sick, decrepit, and bedrid father. Therefore this article was made in vain, or vainly comes the admired princess hither.
What say you, lords? Why, this was quite forgot.
So study evermore as o'ershot. While it doth study to have what it would, it doth forget to do the thing it should. And when it hath the thing it hunteth most, 'tis won as towns with fire. So won, so lost.
We must have force dispense with this decree. She must lie here on mere necessity.
Necessity will make us all forsworn 3,000 times within this 3 years' space. For every man with his effects is born, not by might mastered, but by some special grace. If I break faith, this word shall speak for me. I am forsworn on mere necessity. So to the laws at large I write my name, and he that breaks them in the least degree stands in attainer of eternal shame. Suggestions are to other as to me, but I believe, although I seem so low, I am the last that will keep his oath. Is there no quick recreation granted?
Aye, that there is. Our court, you know, is haunted with a refined traveler of Spain, a man in all the world new fashion planted, a man of compliments, from right and wrong, have chosen as umpire of this mutiny, this child of fancy, thought him out of height, to enter into our study shall relate, in high-born words, the worth of many a night, from tiny Spain lost in the world's debate. How you doing, my lords? I know not I, but I protest, I love to hear him lie, and I'll use him for my minstrelsy.
Our motto is a most illustrious wight, a man of fire new words, fashion's own knight.
Costard the swain, and he shall be our sport. So study 3 years is but short.
Which is the Duke's own person.
This fellow, what wouldst?
I myself reprehend his own person, for I'm his gracious Tharborough, but I'd see his own person in flesh and blood.
This is he?
Signor, I'm commend you. There's villainy abroad. This letter will tell you more.
Sir, the contempts thereof are as touching me.
A letter from the magnificent Armado!
Howsoever the matter, I hope in God for high words.
A high hope for a low heaven. God grant us patience.
To hear or to forbear laughing.
To hear meekly, sir, or to laugh moderately, or to forbear both.
Well, sir, be it as the style shall give us cause to climb in the merriness.
The matter is to me, sir, as concerning Jacquinetta. The manner of it is, I was taken by the manner.
In what manner?
In manner of form following, sir. All those 3. I was seen with her in the manor house, sitting with her upon the form, and taken following her into the park, which is in manner form following.
For the following, sir.
As you shall hear in my correction, and God defend the right.
Will you hear this letter with attention?
As we would hear an oracle.
Such is the simplicity of men to hearken before the flesh.
Great deputy, the welcomed vicegerent and sole dominator of Navarre, our soul's earth's god and body's fostering patron.
Not a word of Costard yet.
So it is.
It may be so, but if you say it is so, then he is in telling true but so.
Peace!
Be to me and every man that dares not to fight.
No word.
Of other man's secrets, I beseech you.
So it is besieged with sable-colored melancholy, I did commend the black oppressing humor to the most wholesome physic of thy health-giving air, and, as I am a gentleman, betook myself to the walk, to time about the 6th hour, when beasts most graze, birds best peck, and men sit down to that nourishment which is called supper. There at that time, there did I see that low-spirited swain, that base minnow of thy mirth.
Me?
That unlettered, small knowing soul.
Me?
That shallow vassal.
Still me?
Which as I remember, hight Costard.
Oh, me.
sorted and consorted, contrary to the established proclaimed edict and constant canon, which with this I passionately say, wherewith
With a wench.
with a child of our grandmother Eve, a female, or, for the more sweet understanding, a woman, him I to receive that meed of punishment for thy sweet gracious officer, Anthony Dole, a man of good reproof, carriage, bearing, and estimation.
Me, and shall please you. I am Anthony Dole.
For Jaquinetta, so is the weaker vessel, called which I apprehended with thy aforesaid swain. A keeper is a vessel of the law's fury, and shall, the least of thy sweet notice, bring into the trial, that in all the compliments of thy heart-burning heat of duty, Don Adriano de Armado.
This is not so well as I looked for, but the best that I ever heard.
Aye, the best for the worst. But Sirrah, what say you to this?
I confess the wench.
Did you hear the proclamation?
I do confess much of the hearing of it, but little of the marking of it.
Which proclaimed a year's imprisonment to be taken with a wench.
I was taken with none, sir. 'Twas taken with a damsel.
Well, it was proclaimed damsel. I'll pronounce your sentence. You shall fast a week with bran and water.
I'd rather pray a month with mutton and porridge.
And Don Armado shall be your keeper. My Lord Barone, seem deliberate o'er, and go we, lords, to put into practice, which each hath so strongly sworn.
I'll lay my head to any good man's hat. These oaths and laws will prove an idle scorn. Sirrah, come on.
I suffer for the truth, sir, for true it is, I was taken with Jaquinetta. Affection may one day smile again, until then sit thee down, sorrow.
What sign is it when a man of great spirit grows melancholy?
A great sign, sir, that he will look sad.
Why canst thou part sadness and melancholy, my tender juvenile?
By a familiar demonstration of the working, my tough senior.
Why, tough senior? Why, tough senior?
Why tender juvenile? Why tender juvenile?
I spoke of tender juvenile as appertaining to thy young days, which we may nominate tender.
And I, tough senior, as an appurtenant title to thy old time, which we may name tough.
Pretty and apt.
Little pretty because little, wherefore apt.
Therefore apt because quick.
Speak you this in my praise, master?
And I can die in praise. I do say thou art quick in answers, thou heatest my blood.
I am answered, sir.
I love not to be crossed.
He speaks to mere contrary, crosses love not him.
I have promised to study 3 years with the Duke.
You may do it in an hour, sir.
Impossible.
How many is one thrice told?
It doth amount 1 more than 2.
Which the base vulgar do call 3.
True.
Why, sir, is this such a piece of study? Now here is 3 studied, ere y'all thrice wink.
I hereupon confess I am in love. I think scorn to sigh. Methinks I should outswear Cupid. Comfort me, boy. What great men have been in love.
Hercules, master.
Most sweet Hercules. More authority, dear boy. And sweet my child. Let them be men of good repute and carriage.
Samson, master. He was a man of good carriage, great carriage, for he carried the town gates on his back like a porter, and he was in love.
Oh, well-knit Samson, strong-jointed Samson. I do excel thee in my rapier, as much as thou didst me in carrying gates. Who was Samson's love, my dear Mount?
A woman, master.
Of what complexion?
Of the sea-water green, sir.
Green is indeed the color of lovers. But to have love of that color, methinks Samson had small reason for it. He surely affected her for her wit.
It was so, sir, for she had a green wit.
My love is most immaculate white and red.
Most immaculate thoughts, master, are masked into such colors.
Fine, fine, well-educated infant.
My father's wit and my mother's tongue assist me.
Sweet invocation of a child, most pretty and pathetical.
If she be made of white and red, her faults will ne'er be known. For blushing cheeks by faults are bred, and fears by pale white shown.
I will have that subject newly writ o'er, that I may example my discretion by some mighty precedents. Boy, I do love that country girl, that I took in the park with the rash and hind costard. She deserves well.
To be whipped, and yet a better love than my master.
Sing, boy, my spirit grows heavy in love.
And that's a great marvel, loving a light wench.
I say sing.
Forbear till his company be past.
Sir, the Duke's pleasure is that you keep Costard safe. And you must suffer him to take no delight nor no penance, and I must fast 3 days a week. For this damsel I must keep her at the park. Fare you well.
I do betray myself with blushing. Maid, I'll visit thee at the lodge.
That's hereby.
I know where it is situate.
Lord, how wise you are.
I will tell thee wonders.
Is that face?
I love thee,
So, afraid you say.
and so farewell.
Fair weather after you.
Come, Jacquelinetta, away.
Villain, thou shalt fast for thy offenses ere thou be pardoned.
Well, sir, when I do it, I shall do it with a full stomach.
Thou shalt be heavily punished.
I am more bound to you than your fellows, for they are but lightly rewarded.
Take away this villain. Shut him up.
Come, you transgressing slave, away.
Let me not be pent up, sir. Let me fast being loose.
No, sir, that were fast and loose. Thou shalt to prison.
It is not for prisoners to be silent in their words, and therefore I will say nothing.
I do affect the very ground which is base, where her shoe which is baser, guided by her foot which is basest, doth tread. I shall be forsworn, which is an argument of falsehood, if I love.
Now, madam, summon up your dear spirits. Consider whom the king your father sends, to whom he sends and what's his embassy. Yourself, held precious in the world's esteem, to parley with the soul interior, of all perfections that a man may own, matchless Navarre, but leave no less weight than Aquitaine, a dowry for a queen.
Good boyette, you are not ignorant all-telling fame. Doth noise abroad, Navarre hath made a vow. Till painful study shall it wear 3 years, no woman may approach his silent court. Therefore, to seemeth it a needful course, before we enter his forbidden gates, to know his pleasure, and in that behalf, bold of your worthiness, we single you as our best moving fair solicitor. Tell him, the daughter of the King of France, on urgent business craving quick dispatch, importunes personal conference with his grace. Haste, signify so much while we attend, like humble visaged suitors, his high will.
Proud of employment, willingly.
Who are the votaries, my loving ladies, that are vow fellows with this virtuous duke?
Longaville is one.
Know ye the man?
I know him, madam, a man of sovereign parts. He is esteemed. Nothing becomes him ill that he would well.
A merry mocking lord belike. Is so?
They say so most, that most his humors know.
Such short-lived wits do wither as they grow. Who are the rest?
The young Dumaine, a well-accomplished youth, of all that virtue loved for virtue loved.
Another of these students at that time was there with him, if I have heard the truth. Barone they call him, but a merrier man within the limits of becoming mirth. I never spent an hour's talk with all, so sweet and voluble is his discourse.
God bless my ladies, they are all in love, and every one her own hath garnished with such bedecking ornaments of praise.
Here comes Boyette.
Now, what amidst, lord?
Navarre had notice of your fair approach, and he and his competitors and oath were all just to meet you, gentle lady. Before I came, marry thus much I have learnt. He means to lodge you in this field, like one that comes here to besiege his court, and seek a dispensation for his oath, to let you enter his unpeopled house. Here comes Navarre.
Fair princess, welcome to the court. court of Navarre.
Spare, I give you back again, and welcome, I have not yet. The roof of this court is too high to be yours, and welcome to the wide fields, too base to be mine.
You should be welcome, madam, to my court.
I will be welcome then. Conduct me thither.
Here, my dear lady, I have sworn an oath.
Our Lady, help my lord, he'll be forsworn.
Not for the world, fair madam, by my will.
Why, will shall break it. Will and nothing else.
Your ladyship is ignorant what it is.
Were my lord so, his ignorance were wise. Were now, his knowledge must prove ignorance. Vouchsafe to read the purpose of my coming, and suddenly resolve me in my suit.
Madam, I will, if suddenly I may.
You were the sooner that I were away, for you'll prove perjured if you make me stay.
Did I not dance with you in Brambit once?
Did I not dance with you in Brambit once?
I know you did. What time of day?
The hour that fools should ask.
Now fair befall your mask.
Amen, and so you be none.
Nay, then will I be gone.
Madam, your father here doth intimate the payment of 100,000 crowns. But say that he, or we, as neither have received that sum, yet there remains unpaid 100,000 more, in surety of the which one part of Aquitaine is bound to us, although not valued to the money's worth. If then the king your father will restore but that one half which is unsatisfied, we will give up our right in Aquitaine, and hold fair friendship with his majesty. But that, it seems, he little proposeth, for here he doth demand to have repaid 100,000 crowns, not demands on payment of 100,000 crowns, to have his title live in Aquitaine. Dear princess, were not his request so far from reason's yielding, thy own self shall make some yielding and some reason in my breast, and go well satisfied to France again.
You do the king my father too much wrong, and wrong the reputation of your name, and so unseeming to confess receipt of that which hath so faithfully been paid.
I do protest, I never heard of it, and you can prove it, or pay it back, or yield up Aquitaine.
We arrest your word. Boyet, you can produce such acquaintances for such a sum of special officers of Charles's father?
Satisfy me so.
So please your grace, the packet is not come, where that and other specialties are bound. Tomorrow you shall have sight of them.
It shall suffice me. You will not come, fair princess, in my gates, but here without you shall you be so received, and you shall deem yourself lodged in my heart, though so denied for harbor in my house. Your own good thoughts, excuse me and farewell. Tomorrow shall we visit you again.
Sweet health and fair desires consort your grace.
By wish wished I thee in every place.
Lady, I will commend you to mine own heart.
Pray you, do my commendations. I would be glad to see it.
God save your life.
And yours for one living.
I cannot say thanksgiving.
Sir, I pray you a word. What lady is that same?
She is an heir of Alencar. Catherine, her name.
Gallant lady, monsieur, I fare you well.
Beseech you.
A word. What is she in the light?
A woman sometimes, and you saw her in the light.
Perchance, lights in the light, I desire her name.
She hath but one for herself, to desire that were a shame.
Pray you, sir, whose daughter?
She is an heir of Falconbridge.
She's most sweet lady.
Not unlike, sir, that may be. What's her name in the cap? Rosamond, my good hat. Is she wedded or no? To her will, sir, or so. You're welcome, sir. Adieu. Farewell to me, sir, and welcome to you. If my observation, which very seldom lies, by the heart still rhetoric disclosed with eyes, deceive me not now, Navarre is infected.
With what?
With that which we lovers entitle affected.
Your reason?
Why all his behaviors did make their attire, to the court of his eye peeping thorough desire. His face's own margin did quote such amazes, that all eyes see his eyes enchanted with gazes. I'll give you Aquitaine and all that is his, if you give him, for my sake, but one loving kiss.
Come to our pavilion, Boyet is disposed.
But to speak at in words which his eye hath disclosed, I only have made a mouth of his eye, by adding a tongue which I know will not lie.
Thou art an old love-monger, and speakest skillfully.
Horrible child, make passionate my sense of hearing. Sweet air, go tenderness of years. Take this key, give enlargement to this swain. Bring him festently hither. I must employ him in a letter to my love.
Master, will you win your love with a French brawl?
How meanest you, brawling in French?
No, my complete master, but to jig off a tune at the tongue's end, canary toot with your feet, humor turning up your eyelids, sigh a note and sing a note, sometime through the throat, as if you swallow love by singing love, sometime through the nose, as if you snuffed up love by smelling love.
How hast thou purchased this experience?
By my penny of observation.
What wilt thou prove?
A man, if I live, and this, by, in, and without, upon the instant. By heart you love her because your heart cannot come by her. In heart you love her because your heart is in love with her. And out of heart you love her being out of heart that you cannot enjoy her.
I'm all these three.
And 3 times as much more, and yet nothing at all.
Fetch hither this swain. He must carry me a letter.
A message well sympathized.
Aha, how sayest thou?
But I go.
The way is but short. Away.
Come then, and I flee.
Most acute juvenile, voluble and free of grace. Sweet welkin, I must sigh in thy face.
I wonder, master, here's a costard broken in a shin.
Some enigma, some riddle. Come, thy landboy, begin.
No enigma, no riddle, no landboy, no salve in the mail, sir. Oh, sir, plantain, a plain plantain.
By virtue, thou forcest laughter. Thy silly thought, my spleen. The heaving of my lungs provokes me to ridiculous smiling.
Do the wise think the mother is not landboy herself?
No, page, is an epilogue or discourse. To make plain some precedents thou hast tofore been slain. I will example it. The fox, the ape, and the humblebee were still odds being but 3. There's the moral. Now the landboy.
I will have the landboy. Say the moral again.
Fox, the ape, and the humblebee were still odds being but 3.
Until the goose came out of door and stayed the odds by adding 4. Now will I begin your moral, and do you follow with my landboy. The fox, the ape, and the humblebee were still at odds, being but 3.
Until the goose came out of door, staying the odds by adding 4.
A good landboy ending in the goose. Would you desire more?
Sir, the boy has sold him a bargain, a goose that is flat. Sir, your pennyworth is good, and your goose be fat. To sell a bargain is as cunning as fast and loose. Let me see a fat landboy, eh? That's a fat goose.
We'll talk no more of this matter.
Till there be more matter in the shin.
Sirrah Costard, I will enfranchise thee.
Marry me to one Francis. I smell some landboy, some goose.
By my sweet soul, I mean send thee at liberty, and freedom in thy person. Thou wert immured, restrained, captivated, bound.
True, true, and now will you be my purgation, and let me loose.
I give thee liberty, set free from durance, and, in lieu thereof, impose on me nothing but this. Bear this significant, to the country maid Jaconetta. There is remuneration, for the best ward of mine honor is rewarding my dependents. Mote, follow.
Like the sequel I, Senor Costard, adieu.
Now I will look to his remuneration. Remuneration? Why, that's the Latin word for 3 farthings. 3 farthings? Remuneration? What's the price of this inkle? 1 penny. No, I will give you a remuneration. Why, it carries it. It's a fairer name than the French crown. I will never buy and sell out of this word.
Ah, my good knave Costard, exceedingly well met.
I pray you, sir, how much carnation ribbon may a man buy with a remuneration?
What is a remuneration?
Marry, sir, halfpenny farthing.
Why then, 3 farthings worth of silk.
I thank your worship. God be with you.
Stay, slave. I must employ thee. As thou wilt win my favor, good my knave, do one thing for me which I shall entreat.
When will you have it done, sir?
This afternoon.
I will do it, sir, fairly well.
Thou knowest not what it is.
I will know, sir, when I have done it.
Why, villain, thou must know first.
I will see to you tomorrow morning.
It must be done this afternoon. Hark, slave, it is but this. The princess comes to hunt here in the park, and in her train there is a gentle lady, When tongues speak sweetly, then they name her name. They call her Rosaline, ask for her. And to her white hand, see thy due command, the sealed up counsel. Here's thy guerdon, go.
Garden? Oh, sweet garden. Better than remuneration. Almost 11 pence farthing better. I will do it, sir, in print. Garden remuneration?
And I, forsooth, in love. I that have been love's whip. What I love, I sue, I seek a wife. Well, I will love, write, sigh, pray, sue, and groan. Some men must love my lady, and some Joan.
Was that the king who spurred his horse so hard against the steep uprising of the hill?
I know not, but I think it was not he.
Whoe'er it was, showed a mountain mind. Well, ladies, today we shall have our dispatch. On Saturday we will return to France. Then, Forrester, my friend, where is the bush that we must stand and play the murderer in?
Hereby, upon the edge of yonder coppice, I stand where you may make the fair shoot.
I think, my beauty, I am fair that shoot, and thereupon thou speakest the fairest shoot.
Pardon me, madam, for I meant not so.
First praise me, then again say no. Oh, short-lived pride, not fair, alack, for woe.
Yes, madam, fair.
Nay, never paint me now, where fair is not, praise cannot mend the brow. Here, my good glass, take this for telling truth. Fair payment for foul words is more than due.
Nothing but fair is that which you inherit.
See, my beauty will be saved by merit. Oh, hair, see and fair, fit for these days. A giving hand, though foul, shall have fair praise. But come, the bow. Now mercy goes to kill, and shooting well is then accounted ill. Thus I will save my credit in the shoot. Not wounding, pretty would not let me do't. If wounding, then it was to show my skill, that more for praise than purpose meant to kill. I alone now seek to spill the poor dear's blood, that my heart means no ill.
Do not cursed wives hold that self-sovereignty only for praise sake, when they strive to be lords or their lords?
Only for praise, and praise we may afford to any lady that subdues a lord.
Here comes a member of the Commonwealth.
God dig you, Dennel. Pray you, which is the head lady?
Thou shalt know her, fellow, by the rest that have no heads. What's your will, sir? What's your will?
I have a letter from Monsieur Baron to one Lady Rosaline.
Oh, thy letter. He's a good friend of mine. Stand aside, good bear. Boyette, you can carve. Bake upon this capon.
I am bound to, sir. This letter is mistook. It importeth none here. It is writ to Jacqueminetta.
We will read it, I swear. Break the neck of the wax, and every one give ear.
By heaven that thou art fair is most infallible. True that thou art beauteous. Truth itself that thou art lovely. More fair than fair, beautiful than beauteous, truer than truth itself. Have commiseration on thy heroical vassal. Shall I command my love? I may. Shall I enforce thy love? I could. Shall I entreat thy love? I will. What shalt thou exchange for rags? Robes for tittles, titles for thyself. Me. Thus, expecting thy reply, I profane my lips on thy foot, my eyes on thy picture, my heart on thy every part. Thine in the dearest design of industry, Don Adriano de Armado. Thus dost thou hear the name and lion roar. Gainst thee, thou lamb, that standest as his prey, submissive fall his princely feet before, and he from forge will incline to play. But if thou strive, poor soul, what art thou then? Food for his rage, repasture for his den. What
of feathers is that which indented this letter. What vein? What weathercock? Did you ever hear better?
I am much deceived, but I remember the style.
Else your memory's bad, going it or ere while.
This our motto is a Spaniard that keeps here in court, a phantasmer, a monarcho, and one that makes sport to the prince and his bookmates.
Thou fellow, a word. Who gave thee this letter?
I told you, my lord.
To whom shouldst thou give it?
From my lord to my lady.
From which lord to which lady?
From my lord Baron, a good master of mine, to one lady of France that he called Rosaline.
Thou hast mistaken the letter. Come, ladies, away. Here, sweet, but this will be thine another day.
Very reverend sport, and truly done in the testimony of a good conscience.
The deer was, as you know, sanguis, in blood, ripe as the palm water, who now hangeth like a jewel in the ear of Chilo, the sky, the welkin, the heaven, and anon felt like a crab on the face of Terra, the soil, the land, the earth.
Truly, Master Holofernes, the epithets are sweetly varied, like a scholar, at the least. But, sir, I assure ye, it was a buck of the first head.
Sir Nathaniel, quod credo?
'Twas not a hod credo, 'twas a pricket.
Most barbarous intimation, and yet a kind of insinuation, as it were in via in way of explication. Facer, to show, vilification, or rather ostentaire, to show, as it were, his inclination after undressed, unpolished, uneducated, unpruned, untrained, or rather unlettered, or ratherest unconfirmed fashion, to insert again my quod credo for a deer.
I said the deer was not a hod credo, 'twas a pricket.
Twice thou sympathy, bis coctus, O thou monster ignorance, how deformed dost thou look?
Sir, he hath never fed of the dainties that are bred in a book. He hath not eat paper as it were. He hath not drunk ink. His intellect is not replenished. He is only an animal, only sensible in the duller parts, and such barren plants are set before us, that we thankful should be, which we of taste and feeling are. For those parts that do fructify in us more than he, me, to be in vain, indiscreet, or a fool. So there were attached set on learning, to see him in a school. But omni bien, say I, being of an old father's mind. Many can brook the weather that love not the wind.
You two are bookmen. Tell me, by your wit, what was a month old at Cain's birth? That's not 5 weeks old as yet.
Dictina, good Mandel, dictina, good Mandel.
What's dictina?
A title to Phoebe, to Luna, to the moon.
The moon was a month old when Adam was no more, and wrought not 5 weeks when he came to 5 score. The illusion holds in the exchange.
'Tis true indeed, the collusion holds in the exchange.
God comfort thy capacity. I say the illusion holds in the exchange.
And I say the pollution holds in the exchange. For the moon is never but a month old. And I say, beside that, 'twas a pricket that the princess killed.
Sir Nathaniel, will you hear an extemporal epitaph on the death of the deer? And, to humor the ignorance, call I the deer the princess killed a pricket.
Oh, perge, good Master Holofernes, perge, so it shall please you to abrogate scurrility.
I will something affect the letter, for our argues facility. The prayful princess pierced and pricked a pretty, pleasing pricket. Some say a sore, but not a sore till made sore with shooting. The dogs did yell. Add L to sore, then sorrel jumps from it, the pricket. Or pricket sore, or else sorrel. The people follow hooting. If sore be sore, then L to sore makes 50 sores o sorrel. Of sore I an 100 make, by adding but one more L.
A rare talent.
If a talent be a claw, look how he claws at him with talent.
This is a gift that I have, simple, simple. A foolish, extravagant spirit, full of forms, figures, shapes, objects, ideas, apprehensions, motions, revolutions. They are begot in the ventricle of memory, nourished in the womb of pia mater, and delivered upon the mellowing of occasion. The gift is good in those in whom it is acute, and I am thankful for it.
Oh, sir, I praise the Lord, the Lord for you, and so may my parishioners. For your sons are well tutored by you, and your daughters profit very greatly under you. You are a good member of the Commonwealth.
Meherkel, if their sons be ingenious, they shall want no instruction. If their daughters be capable, I will put it to them. But vir sapit que paca loquatir, so feminine saluteth us.
God give you good marrow, Master Parson.
Master Parson, quasi, purse on. And if one shall be pierced, which is the one?
Merry master, schoolmaster, he that is likest to a hogshead.
Piercing a hogshead, a good lustre conceit enough in a tuft of earth. Fire enough for a flint, pearl enough for a swine. 'Tis pretty, it is well.
Good Master Parson, be so good as to read me this letter. It was given me by Costard and sent by Don Armato. I beseech you read it.
Old Mantuan, I may speak of thee as the traveler doth of Venice. Venetia, Venetia, chi non ti vede non ti pretia. Who understandeth thee not, loves thee not. Ut, re, sol, la, mi, fa. Under pardon, sir, what are the contents? Or rather, as Horace says in his, what? My soul, verses?
Aye, sir, and very learned.
Let me hear a stanza, a staff, a verse. Lege domine.
If love make me forsworn, how shall I swear to love? Ah, never faith could hold, if not to beauty vowed. Though to myself forsworn, to thee all faithful proved. Those thoughts to me were oaks, to thee like oysters vowed. Study his bias leaves, and make his book thine eyes, where all those pleasures live that art would commend. If knowledge be the mark, to know thee shall suffice. Well learned is that tongue that well can thee commend. All ignorant that soul that sees thee without wonder, which is some praise that I thy parts admire. Thy eye Jove's lightning bears, thy voice his dreadful thunder, which not to anger bent is music and sweet fire. Celestial is thou art, pardon love this wrong, that sings heaven's praise with such an earthly tongue.
You find not the apostrophes, and so miss the accent. Let me supervise the casonet. Here only our numbers are ratified, but for the elegancy, facility, and golden cadence of poesy cut it. Ovidius Naso was a man, and why, indeed, Naso, but for smelling out the odoriferous flowers of fancy, the jerks of invention. Imitare is nothing. So doth the hound his keeper, the ape his master, the tired horse his rider. But, Demoiselle Virgin, was this directed to you?
Aye, sir, from Monsieur Baron, one of the strange queen's lords.
I will overglance the superscript. To the snow-white hand of the most beauteous lady, Rosaline. I will look again on the nomination of the party, writing to the person written unto. Your ladyship and all desired employments, Baron. Sir Nathaniel, this Baron is one of the votaries with the king, and he hath framed a letter to one of the sequence of the strange queens, and, by way of progression, or by accident, hath miscarried. Trip and go, my sweet. Deliver this paper into the hand of the royal kings. It may concern much. Adieu.
Good Costard, go with me. God save your life.
Have with thee, my girl.
Sir, you have done this in the fear of God, very religiously, and as a certain father saith...
Sir, tell me not of the father. I do fear colorable colors.
But returning to the verses, did they please you, Sir Nathaniel?
Marvelous. Well, for the pen.
I do dine today at the father of a certain pupil of mine, and if before repast, you shall gratify the table with a grace, where, on my privilege with the foresaid child or people, undertake your ben venuto, and prove those verses to be very unlearned, neither saving of wit, poetry, nor invention. I do beseech your society.
And thank you too for society. Saith the text is the happiness of life.
And Curtius, the text most infallibly concludes it. Sir, I do invite you too. You shall not say me nay. The gentles are out of the game, and we will to our recreation.
The king, he is hunting the deer. I am coursing myself. They have pitched a toil. I am toiling in a pitch that defiles. Defile, a foul word. Well, sit thee down, sorrow, for so they say the fool said, and so say I, for I the fool. Well proved wit. By the world, I would not care a pin if the other three ring. Here comes one with a paper. God give me grace to grow.
Ay me.
Shot, by heaven. Proceed, sweet Cupid. Thou hast thumped him with thy bird bolt under the left pap. In faith, secrets.
So sweet a kiss the golden sun gives not to those fresh morning drops upon the rose. As thy eye beams from the fresh rays of smoke, the night of dew that on my cheek down flows. Nor shines the silver moon one half so bright through the transparent bosom of the deep. As doth thy face the tears of mine give light, thou shinest in every tear that I do weep. No drop but as a coach doth carry thee, so ridest, triumphing in my woe. Do but behold the thoughts that swell in me, and they through my grief glory will show. But do not love thyself, then thou wilt keep my tears for glasses, and still make me weep. O Queen of Queens, how far dost thou excel? No thought can think, nor tongue or mortal tell. How shall she know my griefs? I'll drop the paper. Sweet leaf, shade falling. Who's he who comes here? What? Longueville, and reading. Listen, ear.
Now in thy likeness one more fool appear. Am I the first that have been perjured so? I could put thee in comfort, not by two that I know. Thou makest the triumvirate. Ay me. Why, he comes in like a perjurer, wearing papers.
In love, I hope, sweet fellowship and shame.
One drunkard loves another of the name. I fear these stubborn lines lack power to move. Oh, sweet Maria, empress of my love, these numbers I will tear and write in prose. Oh, rhymes are guards on wanton Cupid's toes. Disfigure not his slop. This same shall go. Did not the heavenly rhetoric of thine eye, against whom the whole world cannot hold argument, persuade my heart to this false perjury? Vows for you broke deserve not punishment. A woman I forswore, but I will prove, thou being a goddess, I forswore not thee. My vow was earthly, thou a heavenly love. Thy grace being gained cures all disgrace in me. Exhalest this vapor vow in thee it is. If broken, it is no fault of mine. If by me broke, what fool is not so wise to lose an oath to win a paradise? This is the liver vein that makes flesh a deity. A green goose, a goddess, Pure, pure idolatry. God amend us. God amend. We are much out of the way.
By whom shall I send this? Company, stay!
All hid, an old infant play. Like a demigod sit I in the sky. Oh heavens, I have my wish. Humane transformed. 4 woodcocks in a ditch.
O most divine Kate!
O most profane coxcomb.
By heaven, a wonder in a mortal eye!
By earth, she is not corporeal. There you lie.
Her amber hair, for foul hath amber quoted.
An amber-colored raven was well noted.
Oh, that I had my wish!
And I had mine.
And I had mine too. Good Lord.
Amen. So I had mine. Is not that a good word?
I would forget of her, but a fever she reigns in my blood, and will remembered be.
A fever in your blood? Why then, incision would let her out in saucers. Sweet Miss Prison.
Once more I'll read the oath that I have writ.
Once more I'll mark how love can vary wit.
On a day, alack the day, love, whose month is ever May, spying the blossom passing fair, playing in the wonted air. Through the velvet leaves the wind, all unseen can passage find, that the lover, sick to death, would find himself by heaven's breath. Do not call it sin in me, that I am forswore to thee. I will send this in something else more plain, to express my true love's fasting pain. Oh, would the king, Baron, and Longueville, were lovers too, ill, to example ill, but from my forehead wipe a perjured note, for none offend, we all alike do dote.
Dumaine, thy love is far from charity. I should blush to know to be overheard and take it napping so.
Come, sir, you blush. It is your case as such. You try to hand defending twice as much. You do not love Maria Longueville, to never sonnet for her sake compile, to never lay your wreathed arms athwart your loving bosom to keep down your heart. I have been closer shrouded in this bush, and marked you both, for you both did blush. Ay me, says one. Oh, Jove, the other cries. One hers are gold crystals, the other eyes. What will Baron say when he shall hear faith so unfringed with such zeal did swear?
Now step I forth to whip hypocrisy. Ah, my good liege, I pray thee, pardon me. Good heart, what grace hast thou, thus to reprove these worms for loving, that art most in love? Oh, what a scene of foolery have I seen, of sighs, of groans, of sorrow, and of teen. Oh, me, with what strict patience have I sat, to see a king transformed to a gnat. Where lies thy grief? Oh, tell me, good Dumaine. And gentle Longueville, where lies thy pain? It worms my lieges, it's all about the breast. A coddle, ho!
Too bitter is thy jest. Are we betrayed thus to thy overview?
Not you to me, but I betrayed by you. I that am honest. I that hold it sin to break the vow I am engaged in. I am betrayed by keeping company with men like men of inconstancy.
Stop! Whither I so fast? A true man or a thief that gallops so?
I post from love. Good lover, let me go.
God bless the king.
What presence hast thou here?
Some certain treason.
What makes treason there?
Nay, it makes nothing, sir.
Then bar nothing neither, the treason. And you go in peace away together.
I beseech your grace, let this letter be read. Our parson misdoubts it. 'Twas treason, he said.
Baron, read it over. Where hadst thou it?
Of Coster.
Where hadst thou it?
Of Don Armado, Don Armado.
How now? What is in you? Why dost thou tear it?
A toy, my liege, a toy. Your grace needs not fear it.
It did move him to decision. Therefore, let's hear it.
It is Baron's writing. Here is his name.
Ah, you were born to do me shame. Guilty, my lord, guilty. I confess.
What?
That you 3 fools lacked me fool to make up the mess. He, and you, my lord, and I, are pig pursers in love, and we deserve to die. Oh, dismiss this audience, and I shall tell you more.
Now the number is even.
True, we are 4. Will these turtles be gone?
Hence, sirs, away.
Walk aside the true folk and leave the traitors stay.
Sweet lords, sweet lovers, oh, let us embrace. We cannot cross the cause why we were born. Therefore, of all hands must we be forsworn.
What are these rent lines? So some love of thine.
Did they, quoth you, who sees the heavenly Rosaline? What peremptory eagle-sighted eye dares look upon the heaven of her brow that is not blinded by her majesty?
What zeal, what fear have inspired thee now? My love, her mistress, is a gracious moon. She an attending star, scarce seen a light.
My eyes are then no eyes, nor I Barone. Oh, but for my love, day would turn to night. Of all complexions the cold sovereignty do meet as at a fair in her fair cheek, where several worthies make one dignity, and nothing wants that want itself doth seek.
But what of this? Are we not all in love?
Nothing so sure, and thereby all forsworn.
Then leave this chat, and go Barone, now prove her loving lawful, and faith not torn.
Ah, Mary, some flattery for this evil.
With some authority, how to proceed. Some tricks, some quillets, how to cheat the devil.
Some self for perjury.
'Tis more than need. Have at you then affections, men in arms. Consider what you first did swear unto, to fast, to study, and to see no woman. Flat treason against the kingly state of youth. Say, can you fast? Your stomachs are too young, and abstinence engenders malady. And where that you have vowed to study, lords, and that each of you have forsworn his book, can you still dream and pore and thereon look? For when would you, my lord, or you, found the grounds of studies excellent, without the beauty of a woman's face? For wisdom's sake, or that all men love, or love's sake, or that loves all men, or men's sake, the authors of these women, or woman's sake, by whom we men are men. Let us once lose our oaths to keep ourselves, lest we lose ourselves to keep our oaths. It is religion to be thus forsworn, for charity itself fulfills the law, and who can sever love from charity?
St. Cupid then, and soldiers to the field!
Advance your standards, and upon them, lords, pell-mell, down with them!
Let us lay these glasses by. Are we resolved to woo these girls of France?
And win them too! Therefore, let us devise some entertainment for them in their tents.
First from the park let us conduct them hither, then homeward every man attach the hand of his fair mistress. In the afternoon, we will with some strange pastime solace them, such as the shortness of time can shape, for revels, dances, masks, and merry hours, for ruin fair love, strewing her way with flowers.
Away, away, no time should be omitted. That will be time, that may us be fitted.
Sir, I praise God for you. Your reasons at dinner have been sharp and sententious. I did converse this quondam day with a companion of the kings, who is nominated in title or called Don Adriano de Armado.
Novi hominem tanquam te. His humor is lofty, his discourse peremptory, his tongue filed. He is too picked, too spruce, too affected, too odd, as it were, too perignorant, as I may call it.
A most singular and choice epithets.
He draweth out the thread of verbosity, finer than the staple of his arguments. I abhor such fanatical phantasms as to speak doubt fine, when he should say doubt, debt, when he should pronounce debt, D-E-B-T, not D-E-T. He cleppeth a calf, half. Neighbor, vocator, neighbor. Nech, abbreviated nay. This is abominable, which he would call abominable. It insinuated me insane, to make frantic, lunatic.
Las dieo bien intelligo.
Bon for bene? Persian, all scratched, 'twill serve.
Tra,
Quare tra, not sera?
men of peace, well encountered.
Most military, sir. Salutation.
They have been at a great feast of languages and stolen the scraps.
Oh, they have lived long in the alms basket of words. I marvel that their master hasn't eaten 3 for a word. They are not so long by the head as honorific abilitude Tartarus, that were easier swallowed than a flap dragon.
Peace, the peal begins.
Monsieur, are you not lettered?
Yes, he teaches boys the horn book. What does it be? Spelled backward with a horn on its head.
Ba puerta, with a horn added.
Bah, most silly sheep with a horn. You hear his learning.
Now by the salt wave of the Mediterranean, a quick venue of wit, snip, snap, quick and home, rejoiceth my intellect. True wit.
Offered by a child to an old man, which is wit old.
What is the figure? What is the figure?
Horns.
And I had but 1 penny in the world that thou shouldst have to buy gingerbread. Hold, here is the very remuneration I had of thy master, thou halfpenny purse of wit, thou pigeon head of discretion.
Artsman, preambula. We will be singled from the barbarous. Sir, it is the king's most sweet pleasure and affection to congratulate the princess at her pavilion, posteriors of this day.
The posterior of this day, sir, is liable, congruent, and measurable for the afternoon. The word is well cold, shows sweet and apt. I do assure you, sir, I do assure.
Sir, the king is a noble gentleman, and my familiar, I do assure you, a very good friend. For as inward between us, let it pass. I beseech thee, remember thy courtesy. By the world, our account no fable. Some certain special honors, it pleaseth his greatness to impart to Armado, a soldier, man of travel, a man that has seen the world. We'll let that pass. The very all of all is, sweetheart, I do implore secrecy, sweet Chuck, that the king would have me present the princess with some delightful ostentation, or show, or pageant, or antique, or firework. Now, understanding that the curate and your sweet self are good at such eruptions, and sudden breaking out of mirth, I have acquainted you with all, to the end to crave your assistance.
Sir, you shall present before her the 9 worthies. Sir, as concerning some entertainment of time, some show in the posterior of this day, to be rendered by our assistance at the king's command, I say none so... and this most gallant and illustrate and learned gentleman before the princess, I say none so fit as to present the 9 worthies.
Where will you find men worthy enough to present them?
Alexander, yourself, myself, and this gallant gentleman, Judas Maccabeus. This swain, because of his great limber joint, shall pass as Pompey the Great. The page Hercules.
Pardon, sir. Error. He's not quantity enough for a worthy's thumb. He's not as big as the end of his club.
Will I have an audience? He shall present Hercules in minority. His entrance and exit shall be strangling a snake. and I will have an apology for that purpose.
An excellent device. So if any of the audience hits, you may cry, "Well done, Hercules, now thou crushest the snake."
For the rest of the worthies,
I will play 3 myself.
Thrice worthy gentlemen.
shall I tell you within?
We attend.
We will have, if this badge not, an end seek. I beseech you, follow.
Very good, Mendel. Thou hast spoken no word all this while.
Nor understood none either, sir.
Alum, we will employ thee.
I'll make one in a dance, or so, or I'll play on the tabor to the worthies, and let them dance the head.
Most still, honest still. To our sport, away!
Sweethearts, we shall be rich ere we depart, if fairings come thus plentifully in. A lady walled about with diamonds. Look you what I have from the loving king.
Madame, came nothing else along?
Nothing but this, yes, as much love in the rhyme as would be crammed up in a sheet of paper. Read of both sides of the leaf, margins and all, that he was fain to seal on Cupid's name. But, Rosaline, you have a favor too. Who sent it, and what is it?
I would you knew that if my face were but as fair as yours, my favor were as great. Be witness this. Nay, I have verses too, I thank Baron. The numbering 2 and the numbering true. I were the fairest goddess on the ground. I am compared to 20,000 fairs. Oh, he has drawn my picture in his letter.
Anything like?
Much in the letters, nothing in the phrase.
Beautifully, a good conclusion.
As fair as a text be in a copybook.
Where pencils ho, let me not die your debtor, my red dominical, my golden letter. Oh, that your face were not so full of O's.
A pox of that jest I bestrew all shows.
But Catherine, what was sent to you from fair Dumais?
Madame this glove.
Did he not send you twain?
Yes, madame, and moreover, some 1,000 verses of a faithful lover, a huge translation of hypocrisy, vilely compiled, profound simplicity.
This and these pearls to me sent long ago. The letter is too long by half a mile.
I think no less. Dost thou not wish in heart the chain were longer and the letter short?
Aye, or I would these hands might never part.
We are wise girls to mock our lovers so.
They are worse fools to purchase mocking so. That same Baron I'll torture ere I go. Oh, that I knew he were but in by the week. How I would make him fawn, and beg, and seek, and wait the seasons, and observe the times, and spend his prodigal wits in bootless rhymes, and shape his service wholly to my hest, to make him proud, to make me proud, that jest. So pertinent-like would I o'ersway his state, that he should be my fool, and I his fate.
None are so surely caught when they are catched, as wit turned fool, folly and wisdom hatched. Hath wisdom's warrant in help of school, and wit's own grace to grace a learned fool.
The blood of youth burns not with such excess as gravity to wantonness.
Folly in fools bears not too strong a note, as foolery in the wise when wit doth dote. Since all the power thereof it doth apply to prove, by wit, worth in simplicity.
Here comes Boyette, and mirth is in his face.
Oh, I am stabbed with laughter. Where is her grace, thy
bad news, boyette?
Prepare, madam, prepare. Armed wenches, arm. Encounters mounted are. Against your peace, love doth approach disguised. Armed in arguments, you'll be surprised. Muster your wits, stand at your own defense, or hide your heads like cowards, and fly hence.
St. Dennis to St. Cupid. What are they that charge their breath against us? Say, scout, say.
Under the cool shade of a sycamore, I thought to close mine eyes some half an hour, when lo, to interrupt my purposed rest, toward the shade I might behold addressed, the king and his companions. Warily, I stole to a neighbor thicket by, and overheard what you shall overhear. That, by and by, disguised they will be here. Their herald is a pretty knavish page, that well by heart hath conned his embassage. Action and accent did they teach him there. Thus must thou speak, and thus thy body bear. And ever and anon they made a doubt, presence majestical would put him out. For, quoth the king, an angel shalt thou see, yet fear not thou, but speak audaciously. The boy replied, an angel is not evil, I should have feared her had she been a devil. With that all laughed and clapped him on the shoulder. Another with his finger and his thumb cried, Via, we will do it, come what will come. The fourth he capered and cried, all goes well. And down with that they all did tumble to the ground, and in the spleen ridiculous appears, to check their folly, passions, sullen tears.
But what? Come they to visit us?
They do, and apparelled thus, like Muscovites, Russians, as I guess. Their purpose to parley, to court, and dance, and every one his love feet will advance, unto a several mistress, which they will know, by favors, several which they did bestow.
And will they so, the gallant shall be tasked. For ladies shall every one be masked, and not a man of them shall have the grace, despite his suit, to see a lady's face. Hold, Rosaline, this favor shalt thou wear, and then the king will court thee for his dear. Hold, take thou this, and give me thine, so shall Barone take me for Rosaline. And change your favors too, so shall your loves, woo contrary, deceived by these removes.
Come on then, where are the favors most in sight?
But in this changing, what is your intent?
The effect of my intent is to cross theirs. They do it in but mocking merriment, and mock for mock is only my intent. Their several counsels in bosom shall to loves mistook, and so be mocked withal. Upon the next occasion that we meet, with visages displayed to talk and greet.
But shall we dance with a desire to it?
No, to the death we will not move a foot, nor to their pen speech render we no grace, but while 'tis spoke, each turn away her face.
Why, that contempt will kill the speaker's heart, and quite divorce his memory from his part.
Therefore I do it, and I make no doubt. The rest will ne'er be in, if he be out. There's no such sport as sport by sport o'erthrown, to make theirs ours, and ours none but our own. So shall we stay, mocking intended game, and they, well mocked, depart away with shame.
Be masked, the maskers come.
All hail the richest beauties on the earth.
Beauty's no richer than rich taffeta.
A holy parcel of the fairest dames that ever turn their backs to mortal views.
Their eyes, villain, their eyes!
That ever turn their eyes to mortal views. Out.
True, out indeed.
Out of your favors, heavenly spirits, vouchsafe not to behold.
Once to behold, rogue.
Once to behold with your sunbeaming eyes. With your sunbeaming eyes.
They will not answer to the epithet. You were best call it daughter-beamed eyes.
Did not mark me, and that brings me out.
Is this your perfectness? Be gone, you rogue.
What would these strangers know their minds, boyette? If they do speak our language, 'tis some will that some plain man recount their purposes, know what they will.
What would you with the princess? Nothing but peace and gentle visiting.
What would they? Say they.
Nothing but peace and gentle visitation.
Why, that they have, and bid them so be gone.
She says you have had it, and you may be gone.
Say to her, we have measured many miles to tread a measure with her on this grass.
They say that they have measured many miles to tread with you on this grass.
It is not so. Ask them how many inches are in a mile. But if they have measured many, the measurement of one is easily told.
If to come hither, you have measured miles, and many miles. The princess bids you tell how many inches doth fill up 1 mile.
Tell her we measure them by weary steps.
She hears herself.
How many weary steps of weary miles have you gone? Are numbered in the travel of 1 mile.
We number nothing that we spend for you. Our duty is so rich, so infinite, that we may do it still without a comment. Vouchsafe to show the sunshine of your face, that we, like savages, may worship it.
My face is but a moon, and clouded too.
Blessed are clouds, to do such clouds do. Vouchsafe, bright moon, in these thy stars to shine. Those clouds are moved upon our watery eyne.
O vain petitioner, beg a greater matter. Thou request but moonshine in the water.
Then in a measure, do but vouchsafe one change. Thou biddest me beg, this begging is not strange.
Play then, nay, you must do it soon. Not yet, no dance. Thus change I like the moon.
Will you not dance? How come you thus estranged?
You took the moon at fool, but now she's changed.
Yet still she's the moon, and I the man. The music plays, vouchsafe some motion to it.
Our ears vouchsafe it.
But your legs should do it.
Since you are strangers and come here by chance, will not be nice. Take hands, we will not dance.
Why take we hands then?
Only to part, friends. Curtsy, sweethearts, and so the measure ends.
Or measure this measure, be not nice.
We can afford no more at such a price.
Prize yourselves, what buys your company?
Your absence only.
That can never be.
Then cannot we be bought? And so adieu, twice to your visor, and half once to you.
If you deny dance, let's hold a chat.
In private then.
I'm best pleased with that.
White-handed mistress, one sweet word with thee.
Honey, milk, and sugar, there are 3.
Nay then, 2 trays. And if you grow so nice, metheglin, wort, and mouthful, well run dice. There's half a dozen sweets.
7 sweet adieu. Since you can cog, I'll play no more with you.
1 word in secret.
Let it not be sweet.
Thou grievest my gall.
Gall. Bitter.
Therefore me.
Will you vouchsafe with me to change a word?
Name it.
Fair lady.
Say you so? Fair lord, take that for your fair lady.
Please it you, as much in private I bid you adieu.
What, was your vizard made without a tongue?
I know the reason, lady, why you ask.
Oh, for your reason, quickly, sir, I long.
You have a double tongue within your mask, and would afford my speechless vizard half. Oh, 1 word in private with you, ere I die!
Bleat softly, then the butcher hears you cry.
The tongues of mocking wenches are as keen as the razor's edge invisible, cutting a smaller hair than may be seen. The sense, so sensible, seemeth their conference, their conceits have wings, fleeter than arrows, bullets, wind, thought, swifter things.
Not 1 more word, my maids. Break off, break off.
By heaven, I'll drive beaten with your scoff.
Farewell, mad wenches, you have simple wits.
Plenty adieus, my frozen mastivites. Are these the breed of wits so wondered at?
Tapers they are, with your sweet breaths puffed out.
Oh, poverty and wit, king we pour flout. Will they not, think you, shame themselves tonight, or ever but in vizards show their faces? This pert Verone was out of countenance quite.
They were all in lamentable cases. The king was weeping right for a good word.
Verone did swear himself out of all suit.
Dumaine was at my service, and his sword. No point, quoth I. My servant's trade was mute.
Lord Longaville said I came o'er his heart, and trow you what he called me?
Qualm, perhaps?
Yes, in good faith.
Go, sickness as thou art.
Well, better wits have worn plain statute caps. But will you hear, the king is my love sworn.
And quick Verone hath plighted faith to me.
Longaville was for my service born.
Domain is mine, as sure as bark on tree.
Madam and pretty mistresses, give ear. Immediately they will be here, for it can never be that they will digest this harsh indignity.
Will they return?
They will, and God knows. They'll leap for joy, though their language blows. And therefore, repair. And when you repair, blow like sweet roses in the summer air.
How blow, speak to be understood.
Ladies, masked are the roses in their blood. This mask and damask, sweet commixture show. Or angels, veiling clouds, or roses blown.
Avaunt, perplexity, what shall we do if they return in their own shapes to woo?
Good madam, if by me you'll be advised, let's mock them still, as well known as disguised. Let us complain to them what fools we're here, disguised like muscovits and shapeless gear, and their shallow shows and prologue vilely pent. Their carriage so ridiculous should be presented to us at our tents.
Ladies, withdraw, the gallants are at hand.
Whip to our tents as rows run on land.
Where's the princess?
Gone to her tent. Please it, your majesty, command me any service to her thither.
That she vouchsafe me audience for one word.
I will, and so will she. I know, my lord.
This fellow pecks up wit as pigeons pease, and utters it again when God doth please. He is wit's peddler, and retails his wares, at wakes and with sales, meetings, markets, fairs. This is the April form, Monsieur the Nice, that, when he plays at tables, chides the dice. In honorable terms, nay, he can sing, a mean most meanly, and in ushering. Men him who can, the ladies call him sweet. The stairs, as he treads on them, kiss his feet. And consciences that will not die in death, pay him due of honey-tongued Foyette.
A blistering sweet tongue with my heart, that Portomar's page out of his part.
See where it comes. Behavior, what wert thou before this madman showed thee? What art thou now?
All hail, sweet madam, and fair time of day.
Fair and all hail is foul as I can see.
Construe my speeches better, if you may.
Then wish me better, I will give you leave.
We came to visit on purpose now, to lead you to our court. Vouchsafe it then.
This field shall hold me as it shall hold your vow. Nor God, nor I delights in perjured men.
Rebuke me not, for that which you provoke, the virtue of your eye must break my oath.
You nickname virtue, as you should have spoke. For virtue's office never breaks one's troth. Now by my maiden honor, yet as pure, as the unsullied lily, I protest. A world of torments though I should endure, I would not yield to be your house's guest. So much I hate breaking cause to be of heavenly oaths, that with integrity.
If this or more than this, I would deny. Oh, you have lived in desolation here, unseen, unvisited, much to our shame.
Not so, my lord. It is not so, I swear. We have had pastimes here and pleasant game. A mess of Russians left us but of late.
How, madam? Russians?
Aye, in truth, my lord, trim gallants full of courtship and state.
Madam, speak true. It is not so, my lord, my lady to their manner of days, and courtesy gives undeserving praise. We four, indeed, confronted, were with four in Russian habit. Here they stayed an hour and talked apace, and in that hour, my lord, they did not bless us with one happy word.
This jest drives me. Fair gentle sweet, your wit makes wise things foolish. Wise things seem foolish, and rich things but poor.
This proves you wise and rich, for in my eye,
I am a fool, and full of poverty.
but that you take what doth belong to you. It were a fault to snatch words from my tongue.
Oh, I am yours, and all that I possess.
All the fool mine?
I cannot give you less.
Which of the visors was it that you wore?
Where? When? What vizard? Why demand you this?
There, then, that superfluous case that hid the worse and showed the better face.
We're described. Don't mock us now, downright.
Let us confess and turn it to a jest.
Amazed, my lord? Why looks your highness sad?
Seasick, help, hold his brows, he'll swoon. Why look you pale? Seasick, I think, coming from Muscovy.
Thus pour the stars down plagues for perjury. Can any face of brass hold longer out? Here I stand, lady. Dart thy skill at me. Henceforth my wooing mind shall be expressed in honest yeas and russet cursey notes. My love, and to begin, wench, so God help me, law. My love to thee is sound, sans crack or flaw.
Sans, I pray you.
Yet I have a trick of the old rage. Bear with me, I am sick. I'll leave it by degrees. Soft, let us see. Right, Lord have mercy on these three. They are infected, in their hearts it lies. They have the plague, and caught it of your eyes. These lords are visited, you are not free, for the Lord's tokens on you do I see.
No, they are free that gave these tokens to us.
Our states are forfeit, seek not to undo us.
How can this be, that you stand forfeit, being those that sue?
Peace, for I will not have to do with you.
Nor shall not if I do as I intend.
Speak for yourselves, my wit is at an end.
Teach us, sweet madam, for our rude transgressions, some fair excuse.
The fairest is confession. Were you not here, but even now disguised?
Madam, I was.
And were you well advised?
I was, fair madam.
When you then were here, what did you whisper in your lady's ear?
That more than all the world I did respect her.
When she shall challenge this, you will reject her.
Upon mine honor, no.
Peace, forbear. Your oath once broke, you force not to forswear.
Despise me when I break this oath of mine.
I will, therefore keep it. Rosaline, what did the Russian whisper in your ear?
Madame, he said that he did hold me dear, as precious as eyesight, and did value me above this world. And thereto, adding moreover, that he would wed me, or else die my lover.
Madam, by my life, my troth, did never swore this lady such an oath.
By heaven, you did, and to confirm it plain, you gave me this. But take it, sir, again.
My faith in this the princess I did give, and her by this jewel on her sleeve.
Pardon me, sir, this jewel did she wear, and Lord Baron, I thank him, is my dear. What, will you have me, or your pearl again?
Neither of either. I remit both twain. I see the trick on't. Here was a consent, knowing aforehand of our merriment, to dash it like a Christmas comedy. Now to our perjury to add more terror, we are again forsworn in will and air. Much upon this it is, and might not you forestall our sport and make us thus untrue? Dost not thou know my lady's foot by the squire, and laugh upon the apple of her eye, stand between her back and the fire, holding a trencher, jesting merrily? You put our page out. Go, you are allowed. Die when you will. A smock shall be our shroud. You leer upon me, do you? There's an eye, wounds like a leaden sword.
Full merrily hath this brave manage this career been run.
Lo, he's tilting straight. Peace, I have done. Welcome, pure wit, thou partest a fair fray.
O lord, sir, they would know whether the three worthies shall come in or no.
What? There are but three?
No, sir, but it is very fine for every 1% 3.
And 3 times thrice is 9. By Jove, I always took 3 threes for 9.
Oh lord, sir, it were pity you should get your living by reckon, sir.
How much is it?
The parties themselves, the actors, shall show where until it doth amount for mine own part. I am, as they say, but to perfect one man, in one poor man, Pompeian the Great.
Art thou one of the worthies?
It pleases them to think me worthy of Pompeian the Great, but for mine own part, I know not the degree of a worthy, but I am to stand for him.
Go, bid them prepare.
We will take it finely, officer, we will take some care.
Bro, what's an approach?
We are shameproof, my lord, and 'tis some policy to have one show worse than the king's and his company.
I say they should not come.
Nay, my good lord, let me o'errule you now. That sport best pleases, that doth least know how. Their form confounded makes most form and mirth, when great things laboring perish in their birth.
A right description of our sport, my lord.
Anointed, I implore such expense of thy royal sweetbreath as will utter abrasive words.
Doth this man serve God?
Why ask you?
He speaks not like a man of God's making.
That is all one, my fair, sweet honey monarch. For, I protest, the schoolmaster exceeding fantastical. Too vain, too vain. But we will put it, as they say, to Fortuna de la Guerra. I wish you the peace of mind, most royal coupliment.
Here is like to be a good prince of worthies. He presents Hector of Troy, the swain, Pompey the Great, the parish curate, Alexander, a model's page, Hercules, the pedant, Judas Maccabeus, and if these first four worthies in their first shall thrive, these four will change habits and present the other five.
There's 5 in the first show.
You are deceived, 'tis not so.
The pedant, the braggart, the hedge priest, the fool, and the boy. The whole world cannot pick out 5 such. Take each one in his vein.
The ship is under sail, and here she comes amain.
I, Pompey, am.
You lie, you are not he.
I, Pompey, am.
With leopard head on knee.
Well settled, Marker. I must be friends with thee.
I, Pompey, am. Pompey, surnamed the Big.
The Great.
It is great, sir. Pompey, surnamed the Great, that often field with targe and shield, did make my foe to sweat. In traveling along this coast, I hear and call by chance. I lay my arms before the legs of this sweet lass of France. If your ladyship would say, thanks, Pompey, I had done.
Great thanks, great Pompey.
It is not so much worth. I hope I was perfect. I made little faults and greats.
My hat to half a penny. Pompey proves the best worthy.
When in the world I lived, I was the world's commander. By east, west, north, and south, I spread my conquering might. My scutcheon plain declares that I am Alexander.
Your nose says no. No, for it stands too right.
Your nose smells no in this most tender smelling night.
The conqueror is dismayed. Proceed, good Alexander.
When in the world I lived, I was the world's commander.
Most true, 'tis right. You were so Alexander.
Pompey the Great.
Your servant, and coster.
Take away the conqueror. Take away Alexander.
You have overthrown Alexander the Conqueror. You will be scraped out of the painted cloth for this. Your lion that holdeth his pole axe, sitting on a close stool, will be given to Ajax. He will be the 9th worthy, and, afeard to speak, run away for shame, Alexander. Their 8 shall please you, a foolish mild man, an honest man, look you, and suit dashed. He is a marvelous good neighbor, faith, and a very good bowler. But for Alexander, alas, he see how 'tis a little or parted. But there are worthies a-coming that shall speak their mind in some other sort.
Great Hercules is presented by this imp, whose club killed Cerberus, the 3-headed Canis, and when he was a babe, a child, a shrimp. Thus did he strangle serpents in his manus. Quoniam he seemeth in minority, ergo I come with this apology. Keep some state in thy exit and vanish. Judas I am.
Hey, Judas!
Not Iscariot, sir, eclipsed Maccabeus.
Judas Maccabeus, clipped as plain Judas.
A kissing traitor. How art thou proved Judas?
Judas I am.
More shame for you, Judas.
What mean you, sir?
To make Judas hang himself.
I will not be put out of countenance.
Because thou hast no face.
What is this?
A cittern head.
A head of a bodkin.
The face on an old Roman coin. Scarce seen.
The palm of Caesar's falchion.
A carved bone face on a flask.
St. George's half-cheek in a brooch. I am worn in the cap of a truth drawer. Now, forward, for we have put thee in countenance.
You have put me out of countenance.
False, we have given thee phases.
But you, sir, have outfaced them all.
As thou wert a lion, we would do so.
A light from Monsieur Judas. It grows dark. He may stumble.
Alas, poor Maccabeus, how hath he been baited?
Hide thy head, Achilles. Here comes Hector in arms.
Though my mocks come home with me, I will now be married.
Hector is but a Trojan in respect of this.
But is this Hector?
I think Hector was not so clean-timbered.
His leg is too big for Hector.
This cannot be Hector.
He is a god or a painter, for he makes faces.
The army potent of Mars, of Whence the Almighty, gave Hector a gift.
A gilt nutmeg.
A lemon.
Stuck with cloves.
No cloven.
Peace, the army potent of Mars, of Whence the Almighty, gave Hector a gift. The heir of Ilion, a man so breathed that certain he would fight. Yea, from morn till night, out of his pavilion. I am that flower.
That mint.
That columbine.
The sweet war man is dead and rotten. Sweet chucks, beat not the bones of the berry. When he breathed, he was man. I will forward with my device. Sweet royalty, bestow on me the sense of hearing.
Speak, brave Hector, we are much delighted.
I adore thy sweet grace's slipper.
Loves her by the foot.
May not buy the yard.
This Hector far surmounted Hannibal.
Most rare Pompey.
Renowned Pompey.
Greater than great Pompey? Pompey the huge?
Hector trembles.
Pompey is moved. More 80s. Stir them on.
Hector will challenge him.
I, if I have no blood in his belly, then will suck a flea.
By the North Pole I do challenge thee.
I will not fight with a pole like a northern man. I'll slash, I'll do it with my sword. I be prayed, let me borrow my arms again.
Room for the insect. Worthies.
I will do it in my shirt.
Most resolute Pompey.
Master, let me take your buttonhole lower. Pompey is uncasing for the combat. What mean you? You will lose your reputation.
Gentlemen, soldiers, pardon me. I will not combat in my shirt.
You may not deny, Pompey hath made the challenge.
Sweet bloods, I both may and will.
What reason have you for it?
The naked truth is, I have no shirt. I go reward for penance.
True, it was enjoyed in Rome for a want of linen. Since when, I'll be sworn, he wears none but a dishclout of jaconettos, and wears it next his heart for a favor.
God save you, madam.
Welcome, Mercade, but that thou interrupts our merriments.
I'm sorry, madam. The news I bring is heavy in my tongue. The king, your father,
Dead for my life.
even so, my tale is told.
Worthies away, the scene begins to cloud.
For mine own part, I breathe free breath. I've seen the day of wrong, through the little hole of discretion. Now right myself like so.
How fair is your majesty?
Poet, prepare, I will away tonight.
Madam, not so. I do beseech you stay.
Prepare, I say. I thank you, gracious lords, for all your fair endeavors and intrigue. Out of no sad soul that you vouchsafe, in your rich wisdom, to excuse or hide the liberal opposition of our spirits. If over boldly we have borne ourselves, in the brace of words, your gentleness was guilty of it. Farewell, worthy lord. A heavy heart, but is not a nimble tongue. Therefore I leave you, coming too short of thanks, for my great suit so easily obtained.
The extreme part of time extremely forms, all causes to the purpose of his speed, and often at his very least asides, that which long process could not arbitrate. Let not the cloud of sorrow desolate, from what it purpose since the way of friends lost, is not by much so wholesome profitable, as rejoice friends but newly found.
I understand you not, my griefs are double.
Honest, plain words best pierce the ear of grief. And by these badges understand the king. Our love being yours, the air that love makes is likewise yours. We to ourselves prove false, that by once being false, forever we may be true. to those that make us both, fair ladies, you, that even falsehood, in itself a sin, purifies itself and turns to grace.
We have received your letters full of love, your favors, the ambassadors of love, and in our maiden council rated them at courtship, pleasant jest and courtesy, as bombast and lining to the time.
Our letters, madame, showed much more than jest.
So did our looks. We did not quote them so.
Now, at the latest minute of the hour, grant us your loves.
A time, methinks, too short to make a world without end bargain in. No, no, my lord, your grace is perjured much, full of your guiltiness, and therefore this. If for my love, as there is no such cause, you will do aught, this shall you do. Your oath I will not trust, but go with speed, to some forlorn and naked hermitage, remote from all the pleasures of the world. Therefore stay, until the 12 celestial signs have brought about the annual reckoning, until that instant shut my woeful self in a mourning house, raining the tears of lamentation for the remembrance of my father's death. If this thou do deny, let our hands part, neither entitled in the other's heart.
If this or more than this I would deny, to flatter up these powers of mine with rest. The sudden hand of death closing mine eye, hence, ever then, thy heart is in my breast.
But what to me, my love? What to me, a wife?
A beard, fair health, and honesty. With threefold love, I wish you all these three.
Oh, shall I say, thank you, gentle wife?
Not so, my lord. A 12th month and a day. I'll mark no words that smooth-faced wooers say. Come when the king doth to my lady come, and if I have much love, I'll give you some.
I will serve thee true and faithful till then.
Yet swear not, lest ye be forsworn again.
What says Maria?
At 12 months' end, I'll change my black gown for a faithful friend.
I will stay with patience, but the time is long.
The like are you, few taller are so young.
Studies, my lady, mistress, look on me. Behold the window of mine heart, mine eye. What humble suit attends thy answer here? Impose some service on me for thy love?
Oft I have heard of you, my lord Barone. You shall, this 12-month term, from day to day, visit the speechless sick, and still converse with groaning wretches. And your task shall be, with all the fierce endeavor of your wit, to enforce the pained and impotent to smile.
To move wild laughter in the throat of death? It cannot be. It is impossible. Mirth cannot move a soul in agony.
Why, that's the way to crush a giving spirit, whose influence is begot of that loose grace. And I shall find you empty of that fault, right joyful of your reformation.
A 12-month? Well, befall what will befall. I'll just a 12-month in hospital.
Aye, sweet my lord, so I take my leave.
Madam, not so. Or madam, no, I do beseech you. We'll bring her on your way.
Our wooing doth not end like an old play. Jack hath not jail. These ladies' courtesy might well have made our sport comedy.
Come, sir, and once 12 months and a day, and then 'twill end.
That's too long for a play.
Sweet Majesty, vouchsafe me.
Was that not Hector?
The worthy knight of Troy.
I will kiss thy royal finger. And take leave. I'm a votary. I vowed to Jacqueminetta till the plow for sweet love 3 years. But, most esteemed greatness, will you hear the dialogue that 2 learned men have compiled in praise of the owl and the cuckoo? It should have followed in the end of our show.
Call them forth quickly. We will do so.
Hola, approach. This side, Himes. Winter. This fair, the spring, though maintained by the owl, the other by the cuckoo. There, begin.
When daisies pied and violets blue, and lady smocks all silver white, and cuckoo buds of yellow hue do paint the meadows with delight. The cuckoo then on every tree mocks married men, for thus sings he. Cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo. A word of fear, and pleasing to a married ear.
Winter, when icicles hang by the wall, and Dick the shepherd blows his nail, and Tom bears logs into the hall, and milk comes home, frozen and pale. When blood is nipped and ways be foul, the nightly sings the staring owl. To wit, to who? A merry note, while Gracie Joan doth kill the pot.
The words of Mercury are harsh after the songs of Apollo. You that way, we this way.